Can you kindly tell Arnold Adrian not to shout? Thank you.
Is this the new show?
Hello? Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much. We've been having a few issues today. The program was twisted a little bit because of something very important that was going on. The principal of people power was talking to the diaspora constituents, and that, of course, is a very, very important event that we have to allow to happen. Otherwise, let's give a few minutes for everybody to get on board. I thank all of you guys who have been patiently waiting, and I would like to apologize again and say that we had a very important event going on. The principal of people power, and NUP was talking to the diaspora, which is something very important. But I would like to welcome everybody and also welcome all Ugandans from other walks of life. I would like to welcome Ugandans from other walks of life, from other political parties. The NRM most welcome today. All NRM people who want change and want to join us today, you are very, very welcome. ANT, Democratic Party, everybody else who is being confused by there are a lot of confusing agents. Please join and let us speak about real issues here. Change is for everybody, and we know that everybody wants change. I, for one, I'm very confident that change has no color. Let me adjust this volume so that we are good. Diallo Uchanda, my man, thank you for being here. Nakamanya, Maria Goretti, OG Alex, Alice Metu, Bosco da Boss, Nova Nudi. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. We need change for sure. Yeah, everything is volongoto. True. Kale mwangwe tusabule. I'll give you a few minutes since I'm the one who is late from this side. I'll give you a few minutes. I'll give you a few minutes to catch up, and everybody is welcome. For those of you who are already here, thank you for being diligent. Thank you so much. I know many people have reached me and said they like this program because we speak the truth. I really welcome that comment. Yeah, here we don't sensationalize. We speak the truth. We don't put. Yeah, we speak the truth. We like speaking the truth because I know in politics there are a lot of lies by nature, which is understandable, but here we tend to speak. Here we speak the truth. Kale mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala okubeerawo. Once again, netonda okuba nti tutandise leeti kubanga tubadde ne an important event going on. Mwebale nnyo okutugumiikiriza. Brian wa Bobby, Easy Lewis, Mulindwa Alex, Charles Omugave, David William Cheyune, Basajja Subi. Thank you all for attending. There is a problem that we are facing back home. The problem we are facing is that of an incompetent government. It's not only incompetent, but it is mediocre. When this government does things, it does them in a haphazard manner. They are not done smartly. They are not done effectively. They are done in a haphazard manner. Now, the question which we should ask ourselves initially, I have my friends from Arua, my friends from Nebi. I have and my friends from Arua. I am very happy with you today. My friends from Koboko, especially, I'm very happy. Thank you so much. Those people in NRM, Koboko, for showing that change is universal. Thank you for getting rid of that lady. That lady has been a problem to the whole country. So we thank you so much, the people of Koboko, for getting rid of that lady. So I'll be speaking a lot of English because I want to reach those people. I also want to reach our friends in Amuru, who are very close to my heart. And also I have to reach my friends in Gulu. The noise is too much in the background. Okay, I tell my people that the noise is too much in the background. They have heard. It is going to be okay now. All right, so my friends in Lira, I want to reach out to them today. I also want to reach out to my friends in Moroto. I want to reach out to my friends in Soroti. Very important. So, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Oluganda nja kwogera lutonotono olwaleero. Saabagoba. Paamu Kayaga agambye anti ffe watugoba oyagala Northerners. Mwena mbaagala. You have a nice sense of humor. Mwena mbaagala naye namwe mukwegamba mukola nnyo ekyejo ne mubeera nga mudominatinze. Ate nga Uganda yonna tugyetaaga. Nasolo weebale nnyo. No problem, you can use English. Thank you so much. No, I know Pam also means very well. So thank you for the initiative, Mudora. I appreciate. Filmon Magembe, weebale nnyo sebo. Asimwe Patrick, today give us enough time. Okay, I presume everybody has enough data. Asimwe Patrick. Okay, I will try to give enough time. Lukia Twaha, Kayondo Badru. Webale nnyo. Thank you for the love. Kanwagi Lawrence. Mwebale. So, let us look at the work of this government. Why is it that all Ugandans are coming out against this government? You see, we try to understand issues by asking logical questions. And for me, my mode of academic inquiry is logic. So the first question is, now Uganda understanders and listeners. Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay. Kari, the first question is, why is it that Ugandans are so much against this government? That should be the question for everyone else who hasn't yet got it up to now. Lwaki bannayuganda bavuma nnyo government ya Bwana Museveni? I tell you, Ugandans are very good people. Tebavuma Bwana Museveni because of who he is oba wajava nti oba ki. No. Abantu abategeera mu Uganda si kye bakola. The people are against this government because it has failed in service delivery. Government eno eremeddwa okuwa abantu bye baagala. Paulo Isoba, not everyone has enough data. That's very true. So within the hour tujja kuba bulungi. So service delivery is the problem. Now, you will ask me, why has this government failed at service delivery? Now, I must inform all you guys listening that when the NRM came in power, things were a bit tough for any government, especially for a government which didn't have a lot of experience. There was a problem. But a few years down the road, the problem started getting fixed and the government started getting it. And I tell you, there was good service delivery. There was good service delivery from around 1988 until the year 2001. Things were very good. Now, for you students of politics, when we are studying this situation, we confirm the fact that it is actually true that for any regime, the maximum time it can be in power is 10 years. After 10 years, things start going down. That is the truth for any regime. But because the NRM regime had a lot of goodwill, extremely paramount, dominant goodwill, it went on performing so well even beyond 10 years. But things started going down, specifically because of one reason. And I want you to listen to this very carefully so that you know that there are certain mistakes that must not be done. It is, and I repeat, actually true that every government around the world, especially in democratic countries, is as good as the 10 maximum years. So, Botuno Bulungi, 1990 to 2000, that is where the NRM should have stopped. When the time exceeds that period of 10 years, things start going horribly wrong. In the case of the NRM, it was in 2001 when they started to scheme, when Mr. Museveni started saying, you know what? I can actually go on and on. And they started to scheme to amend the constitution and remove the term limits. Awo, Uganda weyatandika okugendera mu buzibu. Once they started to scheme to amend the constitution and getting the term limits, that is when mediocrity started to set in. Kasita batandika okukyusa ekintu kya term limits, ebintu ne byonooneka. Era awo abasajja abamu n'abakyala abatandika NRM we baaviirako. Kakati ekibuuzo ekyebuzibwa kigamba, did NRM just become bad all of a sudden? Or this was in plan? Now, for us, the analysts think that Mr. Museveni came from the bush with a plan. A plan which was hidden from everybody else. Museveni yava mu nsiko ng'akimanyi nti ajja kufuga paka lwalifa. Naye ekintu ekyo yakikweka banne. So, this makes Mr. Museveni a particularly very dangerous individual. Mr. Museveni has been taking advantage of people right from the bush. So, the first people to get very angry must be those who fought with Mr. Museveni in the bush. Because he fooled them. He fooled them to think that they were pursuing a cause that was patriotic and for the country of Uganda, the people of Uganda, nationalistic and so on, whereas not. Mr. Museveni had his own personal agenda, which he used to fool everybody to follow him, thinking that they are working for a bigger agenda, including themselves, whereas not. Awo wonna mu nsiko Barwana, he's deceiving them. He was deceiving them, even in the bush. So today I want you to have an insight into the reason why we have mediocrity in service delivery of Uganda. Because of the deception that Mr. Museveni has executed upon Ugandans since the Bush days. He deceived all those boys who came from the universities and other institutions and other walks of life that he was fighting for Uganda. He actually was not fighting for Uganda. He was fighting for personal interests. So these guys come, they think, yeah, it is our thing. It wasn't. That is why, and we see this in the history of Uganda, that is why when he went for the elections, he knew he was not going to win or do anything whatsoever with the elections. They were not going to benefit him in way of getting power. No, he knew he was going to lose. But he wanted to use those elections as an excuse, as a justification for his long-held idea of a guerrilla war, coming to power through a guerrilla war. So he didn't go to elections with good intentions. No, he went there knowing that it is going to be an excuse. And I want to put a comma there. Njagala nteekewo ka comma and say that Mr. Museveni, why do you think that you are very intelligent, very, very intelligent, and that you can plan, scheme, deceive, and all those things? My friend, you are not alone. There are many Ugandans who can plan, scheme, deceive, but for Uganda, but not for private interest. Now, the thing is, he loses in the election because he was supposed to lose, He was not robbed. And then he goes to the bush. And Ugandans die massively. About 500,000 Ugandans die from the bush war, thinking they are fighting for Uganda. They were not fighting for Uganda. They were helping Museveni to fight for personal interests. Now, how do we know these things? Because this is not a rumor. All this is scientific. This is all scientific. My name is Nrm Mediocrity. I'm the president of the Common League of Ugandans in the Diaspora. I'm also an advanced researcher in the political science. Now, these things are all scientific. These guys did not know about the deception until later, because deception always scientifically comes to the fore. When they come into government, you see, he was allowing them a few things, a few goodies. I don't know what animal is that they feed. They give it something to feed, and then somewhere else they are doing to it bad things. That's what Mr. Museveni was doing. So when they were fighting, they are almost coming to Kampala. He allowed them to book all the houses in Nakasero and Kororo and grab them. He didn't stop them. They schemed. They wanted to steal all the houses in Kororo and everywhere, Nakasero. He allowed them. But he allowed them because for him he had more sinister intentions. And Mr. Museveni is a very cunning guy. There is a time, I think around 89, when they had led for 4 years. And then neja kowaya n'abagamba ndoza nze let me resign. I think I should resign now. Let me go. And then everybody started begging him, Muzei Togenda, Muzei Togenda. Of course, he was not going anywhere. Mr. Museveni wanted to be president more than anybody wanted him to be president. But he was very cunning. So things started scientifically coming out. The deception continued even during the exercise of making the Constitution. In fact, at the time of making the Constitution, that was some of the greatest deception. Even the makers of the Constitution did not know that they are partaking in deception. You see, the brilliancy of deception to some people, these devious characters, is hiding it even from those who are doing it. In the Bush War, deception was hidden from the bush fighters. They didn't know they were helping a man to achieve a personal agenda. In the Constitution making time, again, deception was hidden from those making the Constitution. They made the Constitution, they wrote things. There were about 3 people who knew what was going on. Mr. Museveni, Mr. Kutesa, and I don't know, someone else with brains. The rest didn't know anything. That is why you see that that Constitution has a problem for our elections up to now. The problem with Uganda's Constitution is enshrined in the electoral law which is found in Uganda's Constitution. That deception was put right there by Mr. Museveni. Obuzibu bwe tulina ne election za Uganda kwe kuba nti bwana Museveni yateeka ekiteekateeka ekyokupangirira mu constitution ya Uganda luli edda nga bakyakola constitution, naye nga ye yeetegeka okulaba nti election ameesinga nazo, naye nga abantu tebamanyi, nga n'abakola constitution yennyini tebategeera kakodyo ki kabakoze, ne bagenda bateeka omu ebiteeka ebibasiba amagulu n'entege in the future regarding elections. The electoral law of Uganda is very bad. It gives all the power, for example, it gives all the power to appoint officials to the president. Now, how can the president, who is also a candidate, again be the one nominating everybody? Nobody questioned that. Nobody questioned that. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Because everybody was excited. Excitement. It is that excitement which will always bring us problems in Uganda. Twina okukatinga down ku excitement. And be sober. We have to be sober. Always. Very sober. But I am very sure that in the future, at least in the near future, we are not going to have such cunning people. Because cunning people like this, they come only once in a while. You can't meet someone so cunning like this all the time. No, you can't. So now, when the European Union came the other day and observed our elections, they found out that the problem with these elections is the law in the constitution. They said, why don't you change this thing? Museveni has always been told, change this electoral law. But Mr. Museveni and his people, they are very devious. In fact, one time they went to parliament, and because there was too much pressure to change, they just suggested that the electoral commission be called Independent Electoral Commission. Olunga bakyusiza ne bongerako akagambo Independent Electoral Commission. Can you imagine abusing the intelligence of Ugandans like that? So, when Mr. Museveni in 2001, 2005 eventually removes the term limits, the deception comes to the front. The Kategayas, the Matembes, the Bidandis, and all those people say, they oppose the removal of term limits. Then Museveni says, you people, you are joking. If you are opposing term limits, then you go. Mugende. Abo nabe gobako. Kubanga bazukuse. So, scientifically, deception always comes to the front. So in 2005, everybody knew the deception. Abo n'abeegobako ne bagenda. Kakati bw'abeegobako n'asigaza abalala abagenda okulya okubba obubbi. Awo ebintu ebitandikira okwonooneka. Because if you have people with goodwill, people with good intentions, people who don't have okulia as the front, as their front, when they think everything is okay with the mission, they stick with you and deliver. But now, if you deceive them, then they wake up to the deception and go. Orobosigaziza ababbi. So, from 2005, the good men and women deserted. Those who left were fired. Now, ekinunga kisigadde mu baakulya. Everybody who stayed after that time was omuli. For your information, I went around that time. So, abali ne basigalawo. Ne batandika okulya eggwanga. So the corruption we have, the embezzlement, all this mediocrity of government started around that time. Now, why mediocrity is the question we started with. It is mediocrity because after you get rid of the good people with good intentions, the people with expertise, the people who are not eaters, now you bring eaters and give them jobs because you know the more they eat, the more they allow you to get your personal interest. So when they are busy eating, for you, you are getting your personal interest without anybody saying, Mzee Okolachi. And from that time, of course, there was the time, the trick of trying to get a parliament, which is a rubber stamp, a parliament which does not question. People like Wapakabulo started getting lost. Very nice gentlemen like Attorney General Ayume started disappearing mysteriously. Things like that. And then we stayed with the eaters. The eaters got to the forefront. Now that process continued until 2016. Actually 2017. When the constitution was changed again to remove the age limit. Ataawo kati ne bisaabulukukira ddala. Awo byasaabulukukira ddala. Especially after Mr. Museveni had paid some people in parliament money to do his bidding. Awo ebintu ne bifiira. That is when our democracy was buried and the rumbe was done. Democracy wa Uganda bamuziika ne bamukumira olumbe mu mwaka gwa 2017. Abamagye bwe bayingira parliament ya Uganda on the floor of parliament ne bajjawo ababaka abali batawagira kiteeso ne babakwata nga wheelbarrow ne bafulumya ebweru nga bala bwe babakuba ne bamenya omugongo gwa Honorable Namboze ne bakubanya abalala including Zake who was beaten mercilessly. So at that juncture the democratization of the democracy of Uganda was buried and sealed with concrete. Now, then you know that from then onwards, we had a fully fledged, stamped dictatorship in the country. That is what we have today. kakati mwe waliwo bano, and I bring in this point right now. Waliwo bana ennaku zino abalowooza mbu bali mu NRM party. There are people who are saying they're in the NRM party. Now, I want to tell you that part of the deception for Mr. Museveni to become a fully-fledged dictator in Uganda is that thing called NRMO, or NRM party. Ekyo kiwaani kyennyini. NRM party, nibo munakola mutya, simanyi secretary general, simanyi bano bani, simanyi bano badombo. And I shudder to think how some intelligent people belong to NRM and say we are belonging to the NRM party, we are members, simanyi, we are the bosses. No, that thing is not a party. That thing is a structure to achieve President Museveni's personal interests. Can't you people see it? Most of the people in that party perform a role. Actually, now they know it because there's no more deception now. The gloves came off. Mu mizannyo gw'ebikonde abantu bambala gloves basobole okweka knuckles. Kati wetwatuuka naddala okuva mu 2017 glove tezikyaliko. The NRM party is a vessel to legitimize Mr. Museveni and enable him to institutionalize his personal agenda. It is in Uganda, it's one. So you cannot belong to the NRM party. Go home and tell your children that I'm putting on yellow, there is a bus, there is what, and tell your friend, and go in a bar. When you went to and received an education, I don't care whether you got it from which university, so long as it's called a university, and start bragging that you belong to the NRM party. Which party? For which people? Which people? This is a vessel to institutionalize the personal agenda of a man called Yoweri Museveni. And you guys know it. Because if you are in that party and you don't consent to a man called Museveni's ideas or interests, you get out. If you don't get out, you are inconvenienced in so many ways. Go and ask Honorable Ogongo, what's his name? Very honorable man. He studied in Makerere High. Ogong, or you know, I forget his name. That honorable, a rich man from Gulu. Many times he wanted to stand even as chairman of the party to also be voted. Nobody voted him. Munzijukiza kulinya lye. So people like that, honorable men, they pull out things. They say, what is going on here? What is going on here? No, not Ogenga Latigo. Come on, that one was in NFDC. There is a gentleman. There's a gentleman in the NRM from up in Gulu, or from not Gulu, from Lira. He's a wonderful guy. Those people are in the party. They were in the party trying to do nice things. Nice things. Then they realized that this is not a party in the true sense. This is a personal party. This is a personal party. Okod Ogong. Yeah, I think he's Okod Ogong. Yeah, very nice guy. They were there trying to do nice things in the way the party is supposed to be. Then they found out that temuleta rugezigezi. Temuleta rugezigezi. Okod Ogong. Babagadi temuleta rugezigezi. Kino ekibiina kya Museveni. Can you imagine a member of the party in the NRM having his buses suffocated, his business frustrated? The man imported sugar for about 2 billion shillings. Okorogong, he imported sugar for about 2 billion shillings. He was taxed mercilessly. His sugar was put in a store. You know, when you bring sugar, you want to be quick because there isn't a lot of money. You want to make money, you make it with timely actions. So they tried to suffocate him. Honorable Okot Ogong, they suffocated his sugar business. They suffocated his buses, they frustrated his buses. Why? Because he stood against Museveni in the party. Mr. Museveni is not a Democrat by any means possible or imagined. He's not a Democrat. Bera mu kibiina kye ogezeeko okugamba nti kino si kituufu, we can do this and that. You'll be ejected. His very good friends, the Kategayas and everybody, try to speak out. Where is Zimbabwe now? Eh? So, you are dealing with a man who essentially is not a Democrat, but is using democracy to achieve personal interests. So whenever you see Mr. Museveni taking part in democratic processes, he's not taking part for the interest of democracy. No, he's taking part for his own personal interest. Why are you doing elections, for example? Now, let me tell you, because most of you don't know these things, you have to get the background so that you know what we are dealing with. Why is it that in Uganda now, for example, we have elections? I'll tell you why. The reason why we have elections in Uganda is to try and make NRM dictatorship legitimate. What do we mean? We want to tell the people abroad, especially the donors, that Mr. Museveni and the NRM won the elections. And they are not a dictatorship, they are actually a democratic government. So that is why we have elections. We don't have elections so that you guys can win. No. No. It's not correct. We have elections so that those people with white faces and pink noses can believe that Mr. Museveni won an election. So that when Mr. Museveni goes on his plane and comes to Washington, Brussels, they can receive him as a democratic leader. That's the reason why we have elections. Now you know. Otherwise, the democracy in Uganda we have is Chiwani. It's total Chiwani. But omuntu ayinza okukola obubi n'amala n'akola party ewuwe neyeeyagala, congratulate themselves for doing you bad, ate n'akuyita ne ku party. You can go to that party where someone is celebrating doing you bad and do him very bad at that party. In return, do him very bad. So what do we do? When Mr. Museveni arranges his bogus elections, which is his party, which is his enthronement occasion, please attend it massively. Attend it massively and spoil it. Mugende mulonde akalulu ka Museveni, mujuze obuboxi such that tebayina webateeka spare, tebasobola kujjuzaawo. Omusajja baba bayise ku pate ye, mugende mulye emmere yonna mugimalewo ne sowaani muzirye. Yes. Go to that party and spoil it. Mugende mulonde. Saa 11 nga muli mulaini. Mulonde. Bagana okuleeta obuboxi. Tubalabe. Mukubaka lulu mujuze obuboxi. Juzi wano mukulonda ba youth, they did some funny tricks. We have been recording those tricks. There are some Bahima boys, and I feel very bad to say this, and I am sorry, I regret what I have just said, but I have to say it. Because you see, Museveni brought for us tribalism, so that we refuse to get in touch. Ebintu bino mwino kubitegeera bulungi. Museveni brought tribalism in our country so that various people of Uganda cannot unite themselves. Museveni is the chief tribalist, but he brought it so that we don't get together. One of my two best friends, I have two best friends, one of them is Muhima. Now I'm here castigating Bahima, but I'm not castigating Bahima, I'm only describing. Two Bahima boys putting on uniform of police. Ate mwe mwalaba, buli omwe abalaba nti yemwe. Mwe mwalaba, buli omwe abalaba nti yemwe. You know, with our tribes in Uganda, you can see that, apart from a few, but most of them you can tell who it is. If it is like for me now, I cannot hide that I have Western blood. You see my nose. What? I can't hide. I can't deceive you. I have Western blood. I have it. I can't do it. So you, this is Bahima, you come, you put on the uniforms of police or whatever. We can still see you. You are the one. Nemwagobye abalonzi. Abana ne mubasibira ebweru. Kabalagala police. Ne musibira abana ebweru. Ne mubagamba temujja kulonda kubanga muina maski myufu. Mugende muzikyuse. Ne bazikyusa. Ne bakomawo. Ne mbagamba era mugende. Tetubaagala wano. You disenfranchised the youth. And the way we see you, Uganda police, the way you are working now, what's the time? The way you are working now, you are working to disenfranchise. You are under instruction. Because for us, we know these things. Ugandans now, they are awake. The way Uganda police is working this time around, you have got express instructions to ensure that the youth of Uganda are as disenfranchised as possible and they are as frustrated as it can be. Naje, I will warn you. Number one, before I warn you, I go back to the thing of you frustrating the youth of Uganda and making sure they don't vote and all that. You guys, we are monitoring all these things, and I can assure you, on behalf of the diaspora activists, we are working very hard to stop all foreign aid coming to the institution of Uganda police. Mugenda kutambuza bigere. You do not even have money to buy KK. You know what KK is, you guys in police. Mugenda kutambuza ebigere. Tugenda kuba kubemi sumari. Twatandise dda. Tugenda kuba kubemi sumari. Ate mutuwadde ase no. This time is a very easy job. You have given us a very rich arsenal. Boys came to vote, disenfranchised them, you threw them away. In COVID, you killed 22 people. They didn't die of the disease. They were killed by police and LDU. Police, you used donated cars. Donated cars to kill 2 youth. UP 25. You knocked down that young man. You cut off his hand and his foot. And he died. And we watched that. And the government has never done anything. Naye, mugenda kumanya. Mugenda kumanya this time. Anyway, we have given you sample. For me, you have nothing to do to me. Kaihura, you know it. Where can you travel now? Where? But you other guys, and I don't know why you don't learn from these things. You are still doing the same things. You see, Kaihura is rearing goats. He can't go anywhere. Others, you are even including young ones, younger Bahima boys. Who do you think you are? Omusajja abakozesa using your institutions for a private reason. I mean, he has his private intentions and he's using you. The man will go to heaven in a few years or whatever. You guys will stay and you're going to carry that cross forever, for so many years. You are beating the boys. Mubatade Kabangali. You used a donated vehicle to kill a young girl. Mwemuloza anti-tape zona mwazikweka until you destroy the evidence. You think there are no good policemen who have that information and they give it to us? Oh, you think you are the only ones who did what we are doing in the 70s? No. Even this time we can still do those things. There are some good men and women in the police. They are there. You killed the young lady. The driver saw that she was putting on red in a motorcycle, said speed, knock her down. She died. You're going to pay. You know yourself. You're going to pay. You people stop playing around. But Uganda police, we are going to stop your money because, first of all, you are a prime example in the whole world for using COVID-19 to repress Ugandans. Number two, you have been abusing human rights at a gross level. You have instructions from whoever it is, we don't know, but you have instructions to ensure that you mess up NUP specifically, not DP, NUP specifically. You are messing up the young people. You are beating them without a reason. The other day, you went to a shopping center. We have that video also. And this individual instructions going to the lowest unit. The Kabangali met people who are displaying Chagulanyi's picture, Chagulanyi's thing. And they said, Echo muchijewo, muchitwali. Bring it. Mwagala kuchiteka Kabangali. Because your bosses have instructed you that you must effectively frustrate NUP. All the evidence is there on the street. We don't need anybody to tell us in some instances. A unit commander is driving and they find a poster of Chagulanyi. They stop. They say, Echo muchirete muchiteka kupika. The people frustrated you. But for us, these are telltale signs. But police, we are beating you. Within a few months, we are going to be very successful. We are going to limit any funding to you. We are going to limit funding to you. That is the best way to catch you by those things down there. That funding is not coming. Soon. Wait, soon. Because you see, the other day when we had a struggle with Kaihura, we used to tell him, Kaihura, stop, stop. We used to tell him, we said, stop. The man refused to stop because he thought we are jokers. When you see our Saja Bakuru, who are not lying, because you can see, I've been talking to you, this is my 12th submission. There are no lies here. We speak the things the way they are supposed to be spoken. When you see us here, agitating for change, helping the young people to get the change, you know this matter is serious. This is a serious matter. I have friends on the other side. You are watching me now. You are saying, Chichechi Muta, what is wrong with him? He was making good money. He had a good job. What? Do you think the country should run like that all the time? We should just keep stealing. Until when? Do you think it is okay to go to Chengera and build a mansion of 16 rooms and I sleep there when all my neighbors are poor and I keep roasting meat outside? Those people will come for that meat at night. So you don't want me to sleep, you want me to stay with the gun because I will get the gun anyway. And then sleep, no sleep, I'm waiting for thieves to kill them at night. That is not life. What kind of life is that? I want to live in harmony with my neighbors, even if they are poor. We can't live in harmony. You guys cannot live in harmony with your neighbors now. Kubanga mubabye esente zonna mwavuwaziza abantu. Mwemuzimbye amayumba amalungi muli eri mwebasi. People are poor. You have stepped on their heads. You think you can sleep in harmony with those people? Some of us said, no, we shall not do this. This is not right. There's no sleeping here. We better go. We shall enjoy later. And you people, some of you people, you send me comments, now you would be, maybe you can be a prime minister. How much can you pay me? Anyway, do you know what it means being educated in these countries at our levels? You know how much money you earn? You speak from ignorance, my friend. Ignorance, pure ignorance. So we are okay. We have decided to join the young people so that the struggle can be carried out and be carried out to a good end. So those of you who look at Kyagulanyi, nemumuyisamu amaso, stop it. Stop it. There are so many good men and women behind Kyagulanyi. So many who support him. Some of them even without his knowledge. They are there because they don't need to have his knowledge anyway. They just need to be good, patriotic Ugandans. That's it. Why should Kyagulanyi have knowledge that Byakureka is behind him? No. I just do what I'm supposed to do. Put on a tafari. But I am behind him. But I don't need his express permission. No. I just do my things. If they benefit him in the process, good. So we are so many. We want change. You guys are in trouble. But we know. Because suffering, poverty, all these things, they're universal. Those of you in NRM who have been deceived, I entreat you today to know that the party which you think you are belonging in as members is not your party. It does not have you in its genuine interest. No, that party is a vessel to perpetuate the personal interest of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. So please run away very fast and go and join NUP. Run away. I will send you to NUP quickly because I'm telling you, and this I will tell you very frankly. Anybody else, ajira alindako. Anybody else, ajira alindako. You want change now? You want change? Go to NUP. Do what you gotta do. Temumala budde. Zino symbols za kumwenge, you know, simai tugendeko wano, tugendeko wali. No. Bino si bibozi. Abandon NRM. It is a vessel to achieve the private interests of Yoweri Museveni and his family. It's not for you. Baba limba. Ngabwe balimba, abasajja n'abakazi abagenda mu nsiko okulwana. Bagenda mu nsiko okulwana nga balowooza nti balwanirira Uganda democracy. Babayisaawo dda. Ekintu bakiraba mu constitution, bakiraba 2005 term limit zivuddewo, bongedde okukiraba abajasi bayingidde mu parliament ng'amini bwe yabasindikanga, bayingidde mu court ne baga bizemu. No, bizemu because, you know, actually they have never gone. Bizemu, they have never gone. You join NUP. Let us achieve peace. Because I pity you, my fellow intellectuals, who are still working with this government now. Because to tell you the truth, this government is between a rock and a hard place. In Uganda, it is okwagala n'obutayagala. It is going. Because now, the NRM is trying to use COVID-19 as an excuse to disenfranchise the young people so that they don't get their message to the people. You know that. You can see. disenfranchised the young people, said no meetings, no what, so that they don't take their message to the voters. This is what is going on. So the young people must not take their message to the voters. That's why there are no meetings allowed, but only NRM meetings. And I don't know why the president comes on TV and starts spewing rubbish. You mean nobody can see it that the only party campaigning right now is NRM? Everybody can see. The only party which is campaigning in Uganda right now is NRM. All other parties, NUP, is not campaigning. And NUP is the opposition. It's not campaigning. Because when they try, the police beats them up. We saw something in Mubende. Just a rumor that Chagulanyi will come brought out to the entire police force on the street. Just a rumor. The boy didn't even appear. You guys, you are using COVID-19 to make sure the message of change doesn't get to the people. You are using COVID-19 to make sure that you disenfranchise the young people. Let me tell you, it is safer for you to let the young people talk to the constituent, to the people of Uganda. So that if actually the young people have no message, Ugandans can decide for themselves. That is a better route. Secondly, it is better for you to leave the young people to vote. Because if those young people do not vote, I swear on the life of my children, you will not be able to handle the repercussion. I repeat, if the young people of Uganda do not vote, NRM, not NRM, NRM does not exist, Mr. Museveni, Salimu Saleh, you will not handle the repercussions of refusing the young people not to vote. You will be in very serious trouble. So you are between a rock and a hard place. They either vote or they don't vote and you go. Or they vote and you go. So that is why I want to advise the intellectuals who are working with this government. It is better for you to choose a good side now. You see, we have entered September. After that, it will be too late. You better abandon the sinking ship now. Join the right side. If you think they will not appreciate you, mubawe sent, because you have a lot of money, mwabye sente za COVID. That's the truth. The Ministry of Health was allocated 2.8 trillion in total as money for COVID. When there was no COVID, there was just small cases of COVID. Basically nothing to write home about. By the way, now we have a possibility that the real COVID may be in the country, and yet you have stolen all the money. You see, this is the mediocrity. Basajja mwe mugenda okutaba na Uganda. Kanyanguye part 1 ntandikeko ka part 2 abasobola data banakawuliriza. My fellow intellectuals working for this government, run away from the NRM, get the little money which you have stolen, give it to the boys. And I have to point out another fact to show you that what I'm speaking is scientific. Change is universal. Ugandans are feeling universally the same about change. They have discarded NRM strongmen in this primary. That should have been a pointer to many of you. The girl who said she has Maje, I think she meant Maji, not Maje. Gone. Because that can't be Maje. I think that was Maji, eggs. She's gone. There is another man, very powerful man. He has, 10 wives? He carries a gun to look after his cows. Gone. You will go like that. The rest of you who haven't gone this time, you are going in the coming time. You are leaving. You guys who have money in NRM, women, men, give your money to the young people. Let them see you. Because you must be seen to have changed. Don't just speak. Bring the money. Mziwaban. So that you are seen to have changed. So that you can survive after January 2021. Very important. Uganda is not going to be the same after January 2021. Do you want to be part of it in a good way? Get your booty, give it to the younger people. I have warned you. Kale, abalina kadata akatono, katujitirawo. Na at least munalaba video next time. So, now I want to add in these few remaining minutes, just about 15, which I want to put on top of the hour, that the reason coronavirus may kill us in Uganda this time is because we have a mediocre government. This government of thieves, this government of people with personal interest, have stolen all the money they had, which was supposed to be used for COVID. They have taken it, they have stolen it. Now the real COVID has come, they don't have it. Tebazirina. Baziridde dda zagenze. Abasajja bano n'abakazi babbi nnyo. Bagenda ne bagamba lulimbu testi ya corona ya $65 Uganda. Really? Really, you people? Temuswalako. The governor of Maryland here in the United States has a Korean wife. They went to Korea. They went to Korea because, you know, we have a mad person here. They went to Korea, they got their testing equipment. They brought those things for testing. The kit is $18. 18. In Uganda, 65. Mumuzigulawa. Why doesn't Museveni ask his people, where do they buy those tests for COVID-19 at $65? Even here now in the United States, there's a company, what is it called? Diagnostics. It is here. It is based in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, in the state of Utah. It produces a test called Logix Smart. That test is $10. $10. Nkaga mutanu mwajiguzewa. Naye basajja mwe, bakazi mwe, temwina nsonyi. How do you milk our country like that? Okay, I know you know that you are going. Naye munazirirawa. Munazirirawa. This is a question. Where are you going to? Because here in the United States, you will not be able to carry that booty. Sente mugena zirirawa. Bwe munasigala Uganda bana bajja bakuba emigo ku mitwe esente bazibajjeko. The new government will take the money. $65 because you are taking advantage of an old man who is tired in power. Mumubyo musajja oyo banange. Mubyo musajja oyo. The control for coronavirus in Uganda. We had managed, we should give some credit sometimes, we had managed in Uganda, but the control itself, control of infection, was defeated by stupidity, mediocrity, and indiscipline. Indiscipline of NRM politicians who think they are also part of the... I told you, the NRM is a Chiwani. The power belongs to Museveni, Salim Saleh, and a few other people. NRM is a Chiwani. Did they help the girl from Koboko? The girl from Koboko thought that she belongs to NRM. She's very powerful. NRM is a shell. is a vessel to advance personal interests of the real rulers. You belong to NRM and you think you belong to NRM, you are nothing. As Anite has regrettably discovered, you are nothing. These NRM men, they used indiscipline to smuggle their relatives in Entebbe at the airport, bring them in without testing, take them to their homes. Those were the primary incubators of COVID. These NRM villagers took their relatives to hostels and hotels, and they bribed the people working in those hotels to let their relatives out briefly to go shopping. Can you imagine that? How stupid can you be? Neba nange mwasiri wala kutuka wa ate mulekerawo kugamba nti abantu ba Uganda obusiru bwa Uganda bwobukolako empirical research bwina region gye buvaamu okusinga. I won't go into that because I said that because I'm angry. But the people in the central region at the park, they were washing hands, they were doing everything, protecting themselves in the taxis even before government intervened. People elsewhere, they are doing these things. But we predominantly see some people, especially in the government, they think when you have the thing covering here, you can't talk. They are putting it on the kalevu. A kalevu kasa. You are misleading people. You are the people in power. Mudide mask mujitade ku kalevu. Olwa abantu bakole batya. Okuteka mask ku kalevu. Teina kyeyamba COVID. Because buno obulusu bwe twogera bwe bugiramu endwadde. That's why bw'oba oyogera olina kuteka mask wano. Osobole okukuuma endusu zireke kuvaamu, obulwadde buleke kuvaamu. Mujje masiki ku kalevu. Buli ateeka masiki ku kalevu ali backward. Toteeka masiki ku kalevu, teeka wano. Eyo ye gavumenti empya eddako. Teeka wano masiki gijje kalevu. Oba mwagala kusigala mu kyenaalemu kyammwe muteeke ku bulevu. This government, apart from the fiasco of controlling the virus, has also perpetuated the fiasco of clinical management of the disease. The hospitals in Uganda do not have isolation capability. Abantu balwala kati notwala omuntu ng'alwadde COVID n'omutwala ensambya ne baga mutwale Rubaga. N'omutwale Rubaga. People were being driven around in 2 hours because they have COVID. No hospital can take them. Kubanga tulina endwadde zaffe eza bulijjo muzimanyi abantu bajula malwaliro. Kati oleso wa COVID bano bagamba ogenda kulwaza eddwaliro lyonna oyo mutwale. No isolation. What have you been doing all these days since COVID came? Have you made a council for hospitals and all medical workers to devise means of what to do? Those things, I wrote them there on my Facebook page. You are supposed to do these things in March. Nabagamba nti, some of us don't agree with you. Excuse me. We don't agree with you. But let us come and help you so that our people don't die like flies. We were ready, but of course now we are not. And I warned you even before the money was stolen. I said this money will be stolen. I said get the police, the CID to do ABCD. All these things I warned you about. But of course you don't want. For 22 what do you? I myself, I said I can come down there. I'm management expert. I said, let me come, let me go down there, help our people. There's so many Ugandans here, doctors, everybody, people wanted to come and help. You have done the things your NRM way. Now you see, your mediocrity is going to slaughter our people. And now you start to panic. The other day, you even wanted to bring back the lockdown. Hey, bring it back and see whether you will live for 5 days. The other lady, someone called a PS of health, tweeted and said, we have brought up to date, is it whatever she called, state-of-the-art ICU equipment for all referral hospitals in Uganda. Now I am humbly submitting. If you have brought the latest ICU equipment in Uganda, can we have all government officials, VIPs and everybody, MPs, please go to those referral hospitals and leave Mulago for the poor people? Why do you in turn also wachimwazingako Mulago ne mugamba this one is going to be for VIPs? Let the VIPs go there where you have put your modern equipment. And I caught you offside the other day. I told you, hospitals, mulekerawo ebya ekyalo bya villages from Rwanshama or wherever. You think that the hospital is a building with windows in glass. Now you have brought equipment, you say, twakora buzima, twareta machines. Have you trained the people to handle that equipment? How many equipments do we have in Uganda that cannot be used because there are no competent personnel to use it? Before you start tweeting about your very nice machines, state of the art, shut up. You don't know anything. Can you comment? Leave the job of permanent secretary to people who can manage it. That job is for managers, not just a doctor. It's for managers, professional. Bomboclad. The government of Uganda had done well until the president of Uganda decided to use COVID-19 as a ploy for his own personal political interests. This is how you spoil everything. The man started to see that, hey, this COVID, I can use it to achieve political interest. Oh, this thing is very nice. Okay. Any opposition politician found distributing food would have committed murder. Isn't that right? So that you can get Zake, who you call Zache, and almost kill him, eliminate him, so that you can stop the young people from taking their message to the people, the voters. Ndugu, you are done well, but this thing of yours of taking advantage of everything for personal interest is very sad. Very, very sad. So we shall start from there next time. But Museveni has let down Ugandans in the struggle for COVID-19 because he has personalized the process to control the disease. He has politicized the process. He has also engaged mediocre relatives and friends, given them important jobs when they actually do not know anything to do or how to do it. Mediocrity by the president of Uganda, executed through tribalism, has killed service delivery in Uganda. Now I'm concluding. Mediocrity is because you have a president in Uganda who is the tribalist in chief. He has brought friends and relatives who don't know anything and deployed them in government to do important functions. And they have promptly failed. Not only have they failed, they have stolen the money. This government must go, should go. All of you NRM people who have been deceived, who are in NRM, run away. Start buying your good name from the people of Uganda by contributing to NUP. Get money. If some of you want to do it through other people, do it. Tell me that in Ndugu I have a billion here. I want to give it to the boys, but I'm fearing. Can I give it to you? I will take it. When people want to come for your head, I will tell them, don't cut off his head. This is the only avenue you have now. Bring the money, give it to the people, give it to the younger people. Because there is no need for you to keep this money. You don't need it. You have nowhere to eat it from. Sente muziwa abana. Muzitwale muziwa abana mpola, take it at night if you can. Ladies and gentlemen, I stop here. Thank you.